Mr. Revolver Guy here, dayattherange.com. As you can see, on the bench in front of me today, I have a Ruger 44 Magnum and a few tools. But before we get started, the customary safety check. 44 Magnum, all clear. That is one beefy 6-shot cylinder. Wow. Ruger's known to making them like tanks. But we're really not here today to talk about or give a review on this particular 44 Magnum. Stick around, subscribe down below, and I'll bring a review later on. Right now, I can't really give much a review on this 44 Magnum, and I've had it for years. And the reason I can't give that great of a review is because it simply hurts to shoot. That's right, I thought I'd never say it. As much as I love big bore revolvers, and of all the big bore revolvers I have shot, this one just plain hurts. And I believe I understand why. If you look at these grip panels from Ruger, they are sexy, no doubt about it. I love the color. I love everything about them except for the feel. When I'm out shooting this 44 Magnum, this knuckle takes a beating. After 10 to 15 rounds, even if I'm shooting 44 Special with my large hands, that knuckle becomes sore and might stay sore for about 2 to 3 days, which is a shame because I absolutely do love this revolver. So what we're going to do today is substitute the revolver. I wanted some wood grips. I found some Hogue wood grips online on one of the forums, and I got a really good deal on them, and they're in really good shape. So what we're going to attempt to do today is to replace these wood panel grips, get the Hogue grips on, and then at some point go out to the range and get a review done. So won't be a full disassembly today, but again, just replacing the Hogue grips. And as you can see, I've got a little mallet from Midway USA, Brownell screwdriver, Winchester with Brownell tips, and a little plastic punch just in case. And I'll show you why you might need that. So let's get started with removing these grips and getting the Hogue grips on. Don't want to mar those, so I'll get those grips out of the way. We're going to lay the revolver down here. As you can see, I got a good screwdriver bit from Brownell's that fits nicely. I see a lot of people just take these screwdriver bits or screwdrivers to their screws on their revolvers and end up scratching them. I always like to put a finger on each side to give guidance, if you will, when pulling off grips or dealing with any type of screws to keep from marring the finish of a revolver, semi-auto, or generally semi-autos don't have screws, or keep from scratching my wood grips. Now these should come right off, and they do. There you go, script, wood panel there. Then you have a wood panel here on this side that will just sit up here out of the way. And here you have a takedown screw. And again, I'll get around to doing a full review and show you how to use this takedown screw. Now, some of you might be wondering, why the mallet, why the punch? So here, yep, as I figured, most of the time you can push this right out with your hand. Unfortunately, I can't get this one out. We'll lean it up against my stand here. See if we can get it out with just the mallet in itself. Yeah, comes right out. So this grip retainer plug typically fits down in the standard Ruger grips as so. And as you can see, if you pay close attention, don't know if the camera will focus or if it's focusing or not, you can see one side has an edge or a lip to it. So it only comes out one way, but generally you can tell by looking at it. We'll get these out of the way. I'll put those in a plastic bag to keep them from getting scratched. Who knows, I may end up back with them. The reason I chose these wood grips, again, I wanted wood But with my Smith & Wesson 460, we have the Hogue rubber grips, which is pretty much, these wood grips are fashioned after somewhat, except the back strap isn't exposed, as you can guess, to help absorb some of the recoil there on the 460. But that's why I chose the grip. That thumb or that middle finger there will be resting against the wood instead of the metal frame. And I'm hoping that will make all the world of difference. So let's get to installing these grips. These grips install much like the Smith & Wesson retainer nut. As you slip those on the bottom, I typically like to turn this sideways. If I can get it to stay. And turning it sideways while doing this, you have this pin that retains the screw that goes into these holes. While turning that sideways, it spreads the metal to hopefully allow you to get a easy insertion. My hands are so big. Let's see if I can get an easy insertion of this screw. Thought I had it there. Typically, again, turning it sideways will allow you to spread the metal somewhat. I can't seem to get this one in. I'm struggling with this today. I've done this a couple times, not particularly on this revolvers, but others. Struggling with this one today. Good gosh. Wow. I can't get this in at all. Go figure, I would choke in front of the camera. There we go. Got one side in. There we go. All right. So there you have it. Now that we have that installed, generally, as you can see in the wood, in the molding there's a track that this pin will follow down inside. Again, very simple install. Much like their rubber grips, and they slide right up. There you go. That's the look of it. Now we'll flip this over. Keep bumping that camera. Flip this over and we'll put the screw in. Again, it's important to have a nice fitting or the proper fitting screw bit or screwdriver for your screws so that you don't mar your wood or tear up your screws or strip your screws in any way. So there you have it. I'm hoping that piece of wood, removing my knuckle off of the metal frame, will make the world a difference when shooting this Ruger Redhawk 44 Magnum. I really love the look of these grips and the color. I mean, I do believe they're just drop dead sexy. I actually like this color better than I do the Hogue, but the enjoyment of shooting and the necessary feel when shooting just makes all the world of difference. So I'm making a little bit of a sacrifice on what I believe to be the look just in color, because I do love the look of the grips, and also a lot of people do not like the finger grooves, but as you can see there, they do fit my hand quite well. Again, 5-10 minute replacement. If your hands aren't as big as mine, or you have a secret in getting that pin in, maybe you can do it a lot quicker than I did it. But there you have it. Hogue grips on a Ruger Redhawk 44 Magnum 7.5 inch. Mr. Revolver Guy, dayattherange.com.